Vocational training is on the rebound. Let's meet the director of Local 68 Stationary Engineers Education Program up next on the Giblin Report. Welcome to the Giblin Report. I'm Assemblyman Tom Giblin, representing the 34th Legislative District, which includes Clifton, East Orange, Montclair, and Orange. On today's segment, I'm pleased to welcome Patrick Lynch, Director of Local 68 Stationary Engineers Education Program. Welcome, Pat, to the Giblin Report.
Thank you, Tom. Glad to be here, sir.
Okay, I mentioned at the outset of today's program about vocational training on the rebound. Your observation being involved with training over the last number of years, what's going on? Are people finding an alternative for their youngsters and their family, vocational education versus college diplomas?
I think that is definitely the option moving forward. We have this new generation that's coming to us now. They've got to take over. They've got to carry it moving forward as the baby boomers retire. And I think that people are realizing that there's going to be a lot of opportunity out there for young people today that can work with their hands and have skilled labor behind them.
Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about Local 68 Station Engineers Training Program. Just exactly what do people in Local 68 do on a daily basis?
Good question. So how are we recognized? So we are the facility operations engineers. That's the part of the international that we are. We run and operate facilities, meaning the big boilers, the big refrigeration units that are in facilities. That's our main responsibilities. But what's happened with technology advancements, everybody knows today that you're carrying your phone, which is basically a computer. So you are now in touch with your facility constantly because you're carrying your phone. So that has grown to the point where now we are able to take care of more of what's happening in the facility. So the repairs of the plumbing, the electrical, the carpentry, painting, whatever the facility needs are, that's what a Local 68 engineer is taking care of. So we touch on everything, and it's almost like a second home. That's our responsibility when it comes to it, keeping everything up and running.
How long have you been a member of Local 68?
I'm on my 32nd year, but I've been around it my whole life. My dad is well over 55 years as a member of Local 68.
You must have been on your bicycle when you first came to Local 68.
I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah, so literally it's a part of my life, and I think that's the other reason that we are having a lot of people coming to us. I think this next generation is looking for something that they want to be part of. They want to be part of something, and they're looking for something different. And I think, as I said, it's been my family for a long time, and I've known people in Local 68, as I said, for well over 30 years, the guys that I'm with. So it's a great organization, and it's a great group of people to be part of.
This particular craft or trade or occupation, how has it changed in recent years compared to your early days? When you first got involved with training and the education, what are you doing different?
Different today is we've put a solid investment. We are turning our classrooms into shops. What happened is, and I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but for the most part of New Jersey, a lot of the shop classes were removed from the high schools. I want to say in the early 2000s, so there wasn't the option for students coming through to actually get their hands and try different things. So again, and when I started at the training center, and I'm up there 18 years now, we were kind of geared at that point to almost gear students towards getting their book work done and all of that type of stuff, and align ourselves with colleges where we've seen almost a complete reversal. Now we're having the kids coming to us. They've already spent time in college or graduated from college, and then they're looking for something
Maybe
different.
finding that the job they thought they were going to get is not working out to the level of their expectation.
Correct.
You
Correct.
mentioned about new applicants. In conversations we've had, you talk about sometimes you have to put some of these new applicants through some remediation work. You talked about the elimination of shop programs in the high schools, things like that. So how are you doing, like as far as new members, new people to fill the gap with retirements and deaths and things like that? You know, especially I'm thinking about how you doing with women, how you doing with minority community, how you doing with all of the diversified people that we call New Jersey. How you doing in that regard?
We're doing well. We're doing well. We have some young ladies in the program, and we could always use more. Diversity as far as ethnicity, we're good. The reality is this: what we're finding is the best way for us to continue to spread the word is directly through the students.
You mean your existing students pass the word?
That's it. That's it. Where again,
they're spreading the gospel.
That's it. That's it. Where they're coming and they're seeing something different, where they're getting their hands on tools. We've got them climbing ladders. They're doing everything as part of what they're going to do as an apprentice when they do get out there on the jobs. So it's something different that they've never seen before. So they continue to spread the word for us, and it's working. That's what's working best for us. We're aligned with the Department of Labor as far as our apprenticeship program.
The U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Apprenticeship and Training.
Correct, correct. So we have a lot of rules that we have to follow, and just like you're saying, as far as spreading the word, that is exactly what we have to do. We can't just narrow it down to who we want as part of, let's say, in the school. We have to outreach to everybody. We get out to the vocational programs. We send out the mailings every year. We have to send out our notices online, all of those things. And again, we work with the Department of Labor doing this. They have all these organizations on lists that we have to send out our notices to, and we do that. And again, do we get people through that? Yes, we do. But again, back to, it's the student that's sitting in the classroom. We talk to them about it. Like, if this is what you're enjoying, get out there, talk to your friends, talk to your family, and that's who comes back to us.
Okay, let's take it step by step for the benefit of our viewers. You and I know the procedures, but somebody's interested in becoming affiliated with Local 68. Is there a phone number? Is there a website? Is there an email? Things like that. Maybe you could tell us as much as you can.
I sure can, Tom.
In that regard, to try to get, I assume you're the initial point of contact.
Correct, correct. So what we used to do, and again, this was before COVID, and we didn't have the numbers of really needed at the time, where now every trade skill is looking for the same individuals to come in. We basically have an open enrollment year-round. So what we've done is actually the Local 68 apprentice application is on the website. It does not come down. It's up there. So at any time, anybody that's, the only two requirements must be 18 years of age and a high school graduate to fill out the application. What they do at that point when they finish filling out the application is they register to take the entrance exam. And again, this is Department of Labor rules that we must follow. Everybody comes in, they have the opportunity to take the exam, and then what we do, we don't have an interview process per se.
That website, do you know what it is
Yes,
off
so
the top of your head?
I do. So it is local68.org, right? Yeah. So, and my direct line, 973-396-5531. For anybody that has any questions, please. I'm there 24/7 practically, so please give me a call at any time. And again, back to once the individuals, applicants take the test, the ones that do well on the test, and again, we have to kind of follow that list in that same order that the Department of Labor wants us to, right from the top scorer. And once we fill that first class, we offer the students the opportunity to get started in school with us. That,
when they start school, is there a certain attrition rate, or people might find this is not the craft that they
correct.
envisioned, so you lose a certain amount?
Yes, but for the most part, the way things are set up right now, we're not losing anyone. They're coming to us, and they're finding an opportunity to get up there and handle the tools and do the job, and they're really enjoying it. So we're doing extremely well, especially since we've created the shop part of our programs. And what'll happen is they'll take the first 4 to 5 classes at the training centers. So we have our training center in West Caldwell that we've revamped, and we've also made the addition of a brand new training center in Atlantic City for our South Jersey members.
Well, the big question, of course, a lot of times is training. People know it's a necessary part of the program, but they always, the carrot that keeps them going is the potential for a job.
Correct.
How often, or how are the prospects in that regard? It seems to me like, as an observer, that there's like a change in the guard taking place with people approaching retirement years, people making decisions to move out of state, people looking for other fields. So is there a reasonable amount of opportunity for people to get situated with a job? And then I think some companies are thinking about the wisdom of backfilling open spots with a younger person, or trying to get better diversified. Is that all in the mix?
It is, Tom. It definitely is. I mean, again, the baby boomers and we're an older local. Let's put it that way. For the most part, I would say our average is probably up to the late 50s is probably where
I'm not sure if it's that high.
It's yeah, I know. It's well, maybe we've been chipping away at it. We've been adding a lot of younger students, but as you said, you're right. The opportunity is there. It's going to, I think, continue to grow for these individuals coming in. We can always use more apprentice positions, as they say, on the job sites. Again, it's trying to get the employers, the facility operations companies that we work for, they have to try to figure that into their budget as well, and it's not always easier for them.
A new apprentice starts a job, and I know it varies from different sites, but a typical apprentice would make in vicinity of what kind of wages per hour?
So it's a rough 19. That's the number that we're kind of at right now, where it's a rough $19 an hour.
Plus fringes, which would be substantial.
Plus the benefits. So that's the dollar amount in the pocket. That's the dollar amount in the pocket for the individual, and their medical benefits and the start on their retirement benefits. They're all in play right then, as soon as they sign up.
And then how is a reasonable expectation? It seems like somebody gets a slot, it's not too far after the company's looking to move them up.
Correct. These individuals that are coming through the program
faster than you normally would anticipate, correct?
Correct. So the actual apprenticeship program that we run is actually supposed to be a 4-year run. You're supposed to put 8,000 hours, which is 4 years, on the job training before you're considered a journeyman. But right now, it's the employers can't wait. So a lot of students are being bumped out after a year or 2 years once they obtain their state licenses, and that's the key to who we are. You have to have your state licenses to run the big boilers and the big refrigeration units that are in our facilities. So that's key. As soon as we get an individual on a job and the employer reaches out and says, can you kind of fast track this individual to help him get his license earlier, because I'd like to give him the opportunity for that engineer spot when their retiree comes into play.
I know traditionally Local 68 has represented smaller type work units up and down the state of New Jersey. You start in Atlantic City and basically go up to the edge of Bergen County. So, and you spread that out with 6,500 people. A lot of them are smaller units. Have you had to deal with issues? You hear a hue and cry these days about environmental considerations. Is this part of the curriculum where you have to kind of consider that about clean air quality, things like that? People hear about the dirty air syndrome, things like that. Is this something that's taken place in recent years?
Correct, Tom. Yes. So the one thing that I can definitely say about Local 68, and that is a big part of who you are, because nobody has seen Local 68 adapt more than you have. So that's always been a very big part of who we are as an organization. As times changed, we've adapted. So we do see adaptation coming along now. There's going to be the changes in the way the buildings are going to be run. We're going to have clean energy. We're going to have the solar panels. There's going to be the electrical heat pumps.
The winter energy programs are
That's
being
right.
contemplated down by Atlantic City.
Correct, exactly. So all of this is definitely going to come into play for the changing of Local 68, and we're there ready to adapt with it. We know that these facilities that we are running are going to have to be more efficient in the future, and that is definitely the plan to make sure that they will be running. And that's why you want a Local 68 fully trained engineer on your facility doing that job for you.
More and more you see effort by building trades unions to commit to affiliation with county colleges, community colleges about getting associate's degree. Is this something that you've seen occur?
It is, Tom, and for the most part, the county colleges, once our students, and this is across the board, as you said, we take care of the state of New Jersey. So for the most part, the county colleges that they'll recognize our Department of Labor certificate for an applied science degree. So any one of our graduates could walk into a county college, and almost the only thing that they'll be responsible for doing would be the Englishes and the maths and
the
those.
English, math, and history.
Correct.
Things like that to complete their
To round out their associate's degree.
graduation requirements.
Correct. That's for the most part. And again, there's Thomas Edison University that they can go to as well, which is pretty much an online school. If they wanted to continue to get a BS degree or something like that. So we've had some students pursue those, and we've had current students are still involved with it. So yeah.
I read some of the notes here, and you've talked about this before, about a commitment by your international union. They've had a training site in Crosby, Texas, which is, very, very, a lot of money committed there, and stationary engineers from all over the country have gone there for further enhancement as far as their education is concerned. Tell us a little bit about that facility. I heard it's really state of the art, and they put a lot of money and effort into that site.
Correct, Tom. So what the international has done, so it's I don't want to call it the next level of education, because currently our current critical systems data center instructor, he is actually also teaching down there as well. He goes down about 3-4 times a year, and that's what they've set up. So they've brought in different from the different locals across the country and from Canada. They bring down instructors to teach specifics down there. So where students will travel down, they'll spend 3 to 4 days, and for the most part, the employers are on board, because they'll send their students down and they can get that condensed, top of the line education in a short period of time that they can then bring back to the job sites. So
You've mentioned about critical systems facilities. This has been a growth area in recent years for Local 68 and other stationary engineers unions throughout the country. Explain to our viewers about these sites. I know in New Jersey we have a significant amount of data sites. So what they exactly do, and what kind of manpower do you need on each location typically?
okay, so the data center world is continually growing. So what is it?
It seems to have cropped up there for 9/11 especially, right?
Correct. And what is happening? These are facilities that are just computers. They are servers on top of servers on top of servers. This is the cloud. So the cloud that we're maintaining and operating needs to run 24/7. So we need a full staff. Some sites are running with 8, some are running with 12, some are running with 16. And they continue to grow.
This is 24/7.
24/7, holidays, you name it. So that's where the life of a stationary engineer, that's where it kind of gets a little tricky.
And
Because
they're all about storing their information, whether it be banks or brokerage firms or
correct.
Runs the gamut on that, right?
Correct, 100%. And the advantage that we have as far as Local 68 is New Jersey is a hub. So this power and data that's coming into the state of New Jersey from all different directions is the perfect place to set these facilities up.
It seems New Jersey has more than its fair share as compared to other states.
It does, Tom, and it continues to grow. It's not going away, right? Computers are not going away anytime soon. People are working from home, where maybe that's where we've seen a little bit of a drop off, where a lot of the office towers that we used to maintain with bigger staffs because they were fully loaded, maybe the percentages aren't there what they were, and hopefully they come back, because again that would help us as well. But with that, on the opposite side, the data center world continues to grow because everybody needs their computers running 24/7. So we're doing well. We continue to grow, and I don't see any changes anytime soon.
You mentioned about office buildings. Whether our viewers realize this or not, there's been a kind of a downturn in office buildings. The vacancy rate is pretty significant, and that's going to have impact, with people not coming back to work the way they traditionally did, is causing some concern for some of the large buildings in Jersey City, New York, and other parts of the state. What do you see happening? There's talk about conversion to luxury style apartments and some of the communities. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is one of the downsides of the COVID issue that we experienced several years ago.
Correct, Tom. In the most part, though, I mean, what happens in the facilities with the numbers being down? The sprinkler systems still have to be in operation. All the safety factors, the operation still has to run. The refrigeration units and the boilers are still in operation, even if it is only, let's say, 30 or 40% occupied. All of that equipment still has to run. Maybe it doesn't have to have the maintenance throughout the building that we were seeing when it was, fully occupied, but currently we're still hanging in there pretty tough. As you said, the residential part of the world, I think that, we're going to do our best to get ahead of that as well. These buildings that are going to be run on the residential side, we want to be included in that as well. And I'm sure that's what the majority of people are going to want too, knowing that you've got a Local 68 engineer on your door. He'll make sure everything is working properly for you. During
COVID, I guess you had to shift gears, so to speak, as far as your training efforts are concerned. How'd you get through that? I mean, because life still had to go on, so to speak. That
it did, Tom.
Folks still needed the training, and you had to improvise. And did you get the results that you had hoped for as far as success rate? A lot of our viewers don't realize that to progress in Local 68 station engineers, they're subject to taking a variety of tests that are administered by the New Jersey Department of Labor. That's an integral part of moving up the ladder as far as the organization is concerned. So how'd you get through COVID?
We did, Tom, and I have to thank my staff, my instructors. They adapted. We went online. We were able to put virtual classrooms together, and they've worked out extremely well for us. So literally, the way we've set up the program now is the first part of the program, as I said, the students are coming in and they're in the shops, and we're getting as many tools in their hands as we possibly can. And then at the second half of the program, again, when they're trying to study for their license exams and things like that, we're doing that part of the program on a virtual side. So it's nothing but the best as far as my instructors go, and we've accomplished it. And hats off to instructors, students that worked very, very hard to get through this COVID time.
As far as the training program at Local 68, you don't receive resources or funds from the county, the state, or federal entities. So how does it all work? I mean, I'm told you have a partnership with employers that whether our local 68 members working, they make contributions or a contractual agreement as far as the funding of the education program is concerned?
Correct, Tom. That's exactly how it is. So it's a partnership. I mean, that's literally what it is between the facility operations managers and the companies and the actual local 68 members. When the contracts are signed, there's money that's
There's a provision for education.
it's set aside for the education and for the future. I mean, that's literally what you're doing. You're investing in your organization and for the future of the organization. That's what it's all about, and the industry. So the facility operation companies, they know the same thing. If there's not engineers prepared and ready to keep everything up and running, then they're out of business. So we're all in it together. Everybody's got skin in the game.
Pat Lynch, could you give us the phone number to reach you at, or any issues as far as making contact, because you present a lot of opportunities here, and maybe some of our viewers, whether it be themselves or their sons and daughters, might pick up on it. How do we reach you?
The best way is my direct line is 973-396-5531, and I'm the one that'll answer that phone.
And you're in the process now of you're finishing up the spring component. We will be doing summer classes this
We
year?
did. We actually just started classes on Monday, and this semester will end the last week of July.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I just want to mention to our viewers that if you have any pressing issues that require my attention, or any questions regarding current state legislation, you can reach me at 973-779-3125, or else you can email me at asmgiblin@njledge.org. For additional information, you can go to my website, www.assemblygiblin.org. Thanks for watching the Giblin Report. And remember, if it's an issue to you, it's an issue to me. I hope you've learned a lot more about Local 68 stationary engineers and its training program, and how it can help as far as opportunities for people in your neighborhood or family members, or just having an opportunity to capture a secure and steady career and be part of the American dream. That phone number, once again, Pat Lynch?
973-396-5531.
Thanks for watching the Giblin Report. Assemblyman Tom Giblin.